Hello students, welcome to BioSmart Academy. In today's lecture, we will going to continue our enzyme lecture series, and this is the second lecture of the enzyme lecture series, and here we will discuss about the enzyme classification. Okay, and we will discuss enzyme classification in details. Okay, so before I start this lecture, I just want to show you some of the cofactors and coenzyme that I discussed in our first lecture of the enzyme lecture series. I forget to show you some of the cofactors and coenzyme, so please see here. Okay, so these are the cofactors. As I already mentioned in our previous lecture, that cofactors are basically metal ions. Okay, metal ions. I hope that you liked our previous lecture. Please subscribe and share. These all are free courses, free lectures that I made for you all, so that you can qualify all this examination. You don't go for all that big coaching classes. Okay, so this is copper, cytochrome oxidase, you can say lysyl oxidase, all this. Iron, very important. Please remember that Fe2 plus or Fe3 plus is required for cytochrome oxidase, catalase, peroxidase, important. Okay. Potassium, you know, pyruvate kinase. Okay. Magnesium, hexokinase, glucose 6 phosphate, pyruvate kinase is very important. Magnesium, very important. Manganese and molybdenum, very important. Dinitrogenase. Okay. Remember this. Okay. And another basically I miss here, one is nickel. Okay, Ni2 plus. Nickel is basically urease. Okay, it's basically a urease. Okay, that is break the urea, hydrolysis of urea. It causes hydrolysis of urea. Okay, it's for that nickel is required as a cofactor, so that enzyme catalytic activity is basically good. Remember, basically required for its catalytic activity. Okay, now, and zinc is also there. Zinc is required for alcohol dehydrogenase. Okay, that is Zn2 plus. Okay, so these are the some of the cofactors. Okay, so I hope you understand this. Now I want to show you some coenzymes as well. So these are the coenzymes. Okay, so coenzymes, as I already told you, these are basically vitamins. These are basically vitamins, or it contain vitamin as a part of its structure. Okay, for example, if we say biocytin, biocytin is a coenzyme. Okay, and vitamin is biotin. Vitamin is biotin. And what it does, it basically done carboxylation, that is transfer of carbox CO2 group. Similarly, like coenzyme A, it is basically a pantothenic acid, that is you can say this is a vitamin, that is pantothenic acid, or you can say vitamin B5. Okay, and it basically transfer acyl group. Very important. What it transfer, it many times asks in the NET examination. Okay, similarly FAD, that is vitamin B2 or riboflavin, it transfer electrons. Okay, so like that. Okay, for example, tetrahydrofolate is a coenzyme. Vitamin is folate. Vitamin is folate, or you can say folic acid. Folic acid, it do what? It transfer one carbon group. Clear? For example, coenzyme is thymine pyrophosphate. Its vitamin is thymine, that is vitamin B1, and it transfer aldehyde group. So these are some important coenzymes. I hope students, now you got clear idea about coenzyme cofactors after watching that previous lecture. Okay, and I also discuss this table with you all. Okay, now we will going to focus on today's lecture, that is enzyme classification. Okay, and this is a very important lecture. Many times you got question, maybe not because but it is important for your interview purpose. Okay, so let's start today's lecture. So how we classify enzyme? Okay, so basically earlier many scientists basically try to classify enzyme. As for example, most of the enzyme has been named by adding suffix "-ase". Suffix "-ase". They add "-ase" and they try to name it. For example, if we take urea, then just add "-ase". It become urease. Okay, urease. What does it do? It basically hydrolysis of urea. It cause hydrolysis of urea. Okay, hydrolysis of urea. And which cofactor is required for hydrolysis of urea? As I discussed just now. Okay, because cofactor is important for the enzyme's catalytic activity. So you have to remember. Okay, please comment me which cofactor is required for the hydrolysis of urea. Okay, so like this. Okay, so most of the enzyme has been named like this by adding ASE in their end. Okay, okay. So other enzymes are named from their source. Other enzymes have name for their source. Okay, for example, trypsin. Trypsin. Okay, so these enzymes are naming. Okay, we are studying classification, so we should know the history. Okay, so first we see that some of the enzymes are basically named by adding suffix ase. Okay, for example, urea, and it became urease and it caused hydrolysis of urea. Okay, other basically enzymes were named. Other enzymes were named for their source. For their source. For their source. Okay, note it down. For their source. Okay, for their source. Just I put yes. For example, trypsin. For example, trypsin. And what is the source of trypsin? It basically derived from a Greek word that is known as tryin. 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 Tryin means what? To wear down. To wear down. To wear down. Okay, it means it was obtained by rubbing pancreatic tissue. By rubbing pancreatic tissue. By rubbing pancreatic tissue. Okay, so accordingly, the trypsin get its name for their source. Okay, so this is the second type scientists try to classify. Okay, now thirdly, they try to classify or they try to name the enzyme by their discoverers for a broad function. Okay, so other enzyme when named by the discoverer for a broad function. For a, if I write like this, for a broad function. For a broad function. Okay, for a broad function. For example, pepsin. Pepsin. For example, pepsin. For example, lysozyme. Okay, lysozyme. Okay, so what is the function of pepsin? We all know that pepsin is an enzyme which is basically known to act in the what? Digestion of food. To act in the digestion of food. Clear? And lysozyme, we all know that it has the ability to lyse. Ability to lyse. Ability to lyse. Okay, so these are the enzymes which were named by the discoverers for their broad function. Okay, so in this way, scientists try to naming the enzyme. Okay, first they try to name the enzyme by adding suffix ase. Then they try to name the enzyme for their sources, for example, trypsin. Then they try to name the enzyme for their broad function, for example, pepsin and lysozyme. And because of all these ambiguities, because of all these you can say ambiguities, and because day by day enzymes were increasing, so it means biochemists by their international agreement adopted a system naming and classified the enzyme. Okay, and therefore the enzyme commission has developed a rule. Enzyme Commission EC has developed a rule for naming enzyme. Okay, developed a rule for naming enzyme. For naming enzyme. Okay, clear? And according to this rule, an enzyme is classified and named according to the type of chemical reaction is catalyzed. So according to this rule, enzyme is classified. Please note it down. Enzyme is classified and named according to the type of chemical reaction it catalyzes. Okay, so basically enzyme commission basically came forward and they develop a rule for naming enzyme, and according to this rule the enzymes, or you can say each enzyme, is classified and named according to the type of chemical reaction it catalyzes. Okay, so this is important. Clear? Now, an enzyme commission Enzyme Commission has given enzyme a number with 4 parts. For example, the first part, for example, if we take 2, 3, 4, 5, suppose this is example. Okay, so Enzyme Commission given 4 parts. Enzyme Commission has given a enzyme a number with 4 parts. For example, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are 4 parts. The first 3 number define, 2 is defined major class. Okay, 3 is defined subclass. Okay, 4 is defined subclass. Okay, and the 5 is defined the serial number. The serial number of this subclass. Okay, so now in this way, Enzyme Commission has tried to naming the enzyme by basically you can say by basically given a number with 4 parts. For example, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just take an example. Okay, this is just an example. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, where 2 is a class, 3 is a subclass, 4 is a subclass, and 5 is a serial number in the subclass. Okay, so in this way, Enzyme Commission has given a number so that enzyme can be classified. Okay, now for example, if we say the example of alcohol dehydrogenase, alcohol dehydrogenase, alcohol dehydrogenase. So here the common name and EC number of the enzyme are what? Here the common name and EC number of the enzyme is 1.1.1.1. So this is the Enzyme Commission number and this is the class of alcohol dehydrogenase. Okay, this is a subclass, this is a subclass, and finally this is a serial number of the alcohol dehydrogenase. So in this way, Enzyme Commission basically classify the enzyme according to this rule. Okay, now this rule is now basically, through this rule they classify, or you can say the EC number or Enzyme Commission number designate the class of enzymes, and there are basically now 6 classes of enzyme to which different enzyme belongs. There are how many classes? 6 classes of enzymes. There are 6 classes of enzyme. There are 6 classes of enzyme to which different enzyme belong. And what are these classes? These classes are: first, oxidoreductase, that is we can take as O. Second, transferase, T. Third is hydrolase, that is H. 4 is lyase, that is L. 5th is isomerase, that is I. And 6 is ligase, that is L. So there are 6 classes of enzyme. So the systematic classification of enzyme, that is basically given by Enzyme Commission. Okay, according to the rule, there are 6 classes of enzyme. There are 6 classes of enzyme, and these classes are oxidoreductase, O. T is transferase, H is hydrolases, L is lyases, I is isomerases, and L is ligases. Okay, so these are the mnemonics you can use: OTH, LIL, OTH, LIL, OTH, LIL. Okay, so these are the 6 classes of enzymes. Okay, now I will going to show you the classes. Okay, so these are the, so this is an international classification of enzymes. Okay, and enzymes are classified according to type of reaction they catalyzed. Remember that type of reaction they catalyzed, and all enzymes have formal Enzyme Commission number. All enzymes have Enzyme Commission numbers, names, and most have trivial names. Okay, and according to this, there are 6 classes of enzyme. That is the international classification of enzyme, and there are 6 classes of enzyme according to this. The first class is oxidoreductase, O. Okay, O. So what does this means? Oxidoreductase means transfer of electrons, or you can say it catalyzes oxidation. Just note down the things that I write here: oxidation reduction reactions. Okay, so this is oxidoreductase, that is The enzymes that catalyzes oxido means oxidation and reductase, that is reduction reactions. This belongs to the oxidoreductase. Okay, and here here basically I can give you one two example. For example, oxidases belong to this oxidoreductase. What does this oxidases do? It transfer, or you can say oxidases means what? Oxygen, related to oxygen, because oxidases, so oxygen here used as an electron acceptor, but do not incorporate it into substrate. It is only used as an electron acceptor. And for example, another example is oxygenase. So it is also related to oxygen. Here the oxygen is directly incorporated into substrate. Okay, so in case of oxidase, oxygen is used as an electron acceptor but not incorporated into substrate. But in case of oxygenase, it is directly incorporated into substrate, that is oxygen is directly incorporated into substrate. Okay, and example is peroxidase. Okay, so these are some example of class 1 oxidoreductase. Now go to class 2. So this is a class 2, that is transferase. So what does this transferase means? Transfer, okay, that is group transfer reactions. Okay, that is do some kind of transfer. For example, simple example of transferase is, you can say, just note it down. For example, kinase, it transfer what? It transfer phosphate group from where? From ATP. Clear? For example, phosphorylase, it transfer what? It transfer also phosphate group, but in this case the phosphate group is transferred from inorganic phosphate. Please note down these things. Okay, another example is transcarboxylase, where carbon dioxide group is transferred. Okay, so these are belong to the transferase. I hope I make you clear. Okay, all this. Now third group is hydrolase. So here from the name is, you can suggest that hydrolases means hydrolysis reaction, that is transfer of functional group to water. Okay, that is transfer of functional group to water. For example, if I say AB plus water, so this functional group is transferred to water, that is AH plus BOH. So this is the hydrolases. Okay, for example, just I give you one example. Phosphodiesterase belong to this. Okay, phosphodiesterase belong to this. What does it do? It cleave phosphodiester bond. You know this. For example, phosphatase, it remove phosphate from substrate. Okay, so these are basically belongs to hydrolase. Fourth one is lysase. Lysase means these are the enzyme that catalyze or cleave the CC, CO, CN, CS, all these bond. Via what? Via elimination process. Clear? And leaving behind double bonds or rings. Okay. So the example of lysase are, for example, aldolase. You all know aldolase, where basically you read it in glycolysis. Okay, so what does aldolase do? Aldolase means it remove aldehyde group. Okay, via, I already told you, elimination reaction. Okay, for example, dehydratase means water, it remove water. For example, decarboxylase, that is decarboxylase, for example, remove carbon dioxide, and all these are through elimination reaction. So this is about lysase. Okay, clear? Now the fifth is isomerase. Okay, the fifth class of enzyme is isomerase. As the name suggests, isomerase means what? It transfer group within molecules to form isomeric compounds, to form isomers or isomeric for compound. For example, you know, very simple. For example, epimerase. You all know epimers. I already teach in our carbohydrate lecture series. Please go and watch. You will find in the playlist. Epimerase. For example, racemase. Okay, racemase, that is L and D interconversion. Okay, so these are the example of isomerase. And the last class of enzyme is ligases. Ligases means what? That is the formation. Formation. Lysis, cleavage of CCCOCN bond through elimination reaction, and ligases is just opposite of lysis. Here the formation of CCCN/CSCO bonds. Okay, but the difference is that when the bond is cleaved in lysis, no ATP is required. Here no ATP is required. Please note it down. But in case of ligase, when the bond is cleaved, here ATP is required. Here ATP is required. Clear? So example is carboxylase. Carboxylase means what? In lysis we read decarboxylase, means we remove the carbon dioxide, okay, via elimination reaction. But in ligases we read carboxylase. Carboxylase means we use CO2 as a substrate. Clear? So these are the some classification, that 6 classification that was given by Enzyme Commission, and I hope that you get my points in this lecture. I hope this lecture will help you to understand the enzyme classification. So students, that's all for today. In our next lecture, we will going to start the lecture 3rd of enzyme lecture series. Okay, so we will meet in our next lecture. Till then, thank you. And another important thing is that this is a 2nd lecture of enzyme lecture series. Okay, 3rd lecture will coming tomorrow. And if you liked our lecture, please subscribe and please share, because we make free lectures for CSI NET, all this entrance examination, as well for BSc MSc as well. Okay, so please support us. So we will meet in our next lecture. Till then, thank you.